Until you set foot here and actually live the experience, you don't know it. You absolutely don't know it.
Only several thousand people have done this since 1845.
Sitting down in the chair for the first time, it just comes with an immense amount of responsibility, and that responsibility shouldn't be taken lightly.
It was a moment of enormous impact and majesty to me.
If you want to be famous, this isn't the place to come. If you want to work hard and change the state for the better, this is a good place for you.
My constituents have needs. That just doesn't start and stop at the 60-day session. That's a 365-day-a-year proposition.
People may approach you with a real-world issue, and anybody with a heart, you're going to remember it and you're going to respond to it.
Every piece of legislation we talk about and we pass impacts millions of people.
We worry about every comma, every word, every statutory reference, because it might become law. In fact, it probably will if it's moving along. And I think that just creates a sense of responsibility and urgency that exists during session that doesn't exist anywhere else.
There's a misconception that Republicans and Democrats hate each other, and that Tallahassee is like Washington, and oftentimes it's not.
My colleagues, whether I agree or disagree with them, have been sent here by their neighbors just like I was. And that was because they knew who they were sending here, and that's who they wanted, and that's who they wanted to speak up for them.
It's easy to get things done and accomplished just by being nice and having empathy for where somebody else is. And I think that the other chambers overlook that stuff.
Getting to know members and sharing a lot of experiences, that's a real, I think, a fundamental component of this entire process.
I think it's everything. I think it's everything in terms of keeping your sanity while you're up here. I think it has a great deal to do with individual successes, being able to foster those relationships. So when the time does come that you need to go, hey, Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, I need this bill up, or can you help me with this, or do you have a problem with this? Those personal relationships can go really far.
You can't accomplish things alone in this process at all. We can still say to people, when you look at the board on the floor and you see the lights go on most bills, there are a lot of green lights up there.
I wouldn't give up any of those friendships that I have with those men and women on the other side of the aisle for anything. They're my friends, and they're one of the reasons that made coming up here for 14 years out of 16 bearable in a lot of ways, because you leave your family behind.
The biggest sacrifice is the amount of time that you spend away from home.
And what's tough during legislative session is even when we go home, we're probably thinking about bills that need to be amended or bills that need to be put on the agenda, or how are we solving some of these problems. So even when we're home during session, sometimes we're not really home.
And it's not just me sacrificing my time and effort, but also my wife sacrificing a lot of time and effort on her part, because she's the one that's holding down the fort when I'm serving.
I stopped going for the most part to night events, as my boys call it. How many sleeps are you going to be gone for, right? I try to minimize the amount of sleeps that I'm gone.
So I look at the trade-off, right? I'm not at home with them like I was this weekend, so I got to feed my 6-month-old grandson and spend half the day with him. But I'm here, and I know I'm making a positive difference on the future of Florida that's going to be his future.
If I could go back and tell my freshman self something, it would be that those who you think are important aren't really that important, and neither are you.
I learned that when I have a bill in committee, I need to contact the members of the committee. I'll never forget the first no I got. Like, what?
If you don't mind not having your name on it, there's no limit to what you can do in this process.
Never forget where you came from. Don't change who you are. Always be humble.
Nothing is more important than your word. Make sure if you say you're going to do something, you do it. And if you can't do it, make sure you go to that person before they expect it to be done and you explain to them why you can't do it.
It's been the honor of my life to serve in this House of Representatives.
To my senior class, absolutely love each and every one of you. I am forever proud to be in the fight with you.
I really enjoyed spending time with colleagues from all over the state. I respect where they came from, what they do, and that their friendship was genuine.
They've just been an incredible group of people who I consider family.
It's been an amazing experience working with all you as friends and colleagues, and I think we can look back at our years here and find that we really did make a difference.
Thanks for allowing a guy from Northwest Florida to engage with you and work with you and have the opportunity to have a really cool job my last 2 years, and it's special.
I hope they take a moment when this is all done to reflect back on all that they have done and all they have accomplished, because I think that they're going to be proud of their service.
I think that our senior class in particular made me a better person, probably calmed me down a little bit from where I used to be as a member, and a little more introspective and a little more thoughtful about what different people are going through, and not just looking at it through my own personal lens. So for that, I'll always be eternally grateful, and I'm going to miss you guys. Bye. Bye.
It's been an amazing experience. Yeah.